My people around the world, welcome back to the Selas Perspective. The only perspective you should be listening to, because this is the only podcast going on right now where we're discussing every perspective and every topic and every viewpoint that you could possibly need to be successful on this amazing planet. Today, I'm switching it up a little bit. I decided to invite two quality guests that have a vast amount of experience in a different realm that affects every single one of us. And that realm is the realm of fitness. The realm of getting swole, of making money with the gains, of looking sexy for your significant other. I have the great pleasure of introducing Nathan and Daniel.
What is going on, guys? So allow me to introduce myself. I'm an online fitness coach. What I do is I help transform clients from around the world. I make positive impacts in their lives. I love working with, highly motivated, individuals, and I love working with highly committed people that, want to become the best version of themselves.
My name is Daniel Garcia. I'm his filmmaker, photographer. I'm following him on his fitness journey. It's really awesome. He's shown me a lot of great things, and definitely a lot of knowledge, a lot of insight on fitness and all these different things. It's fun to learn.
No, I guarantee it, man. It is fun to learn. I remember when I started learning fitness. We
go way back.
We go way back. So for everyone that knows, for everyone that's listening, I've known these guys since, I was a kid. These were my childhood friends. I left for the military, so we kind of didn't talk for a little bit because I was kind of doing my own thing. They were doing their own thing. But now I'm back down here in South Florida, sunny side, and we're out here, collaborating again, them with their fitness industry, us with the podcast. So I got to ask y'all a question, man, because fitness is something that everyone always likes to talk about. We have social media influencers that are so heavy into it. What got y'all into fitness?
Starting off with me, this goes back to, I think it was junior year of high school. Sophomore year of high school. I was at Park Vista attending, and I had a friend. His name was Guy. Shout out to Guy Torres, and my brother as well. They were big into working out, the gym, stuff like that, and I was always so inspired to look good, fit in clothes, feeling confident in my body, because I wasn't necessarily like the slimmest person. I didn't really pay attention to what I ate. I was a little bit chunky, I didn't really feel confident in myself. Self-esteem was very low. And I looked at them and I saw the way that they put themselves up, and I was like, wow, I kind of want to try what they're trying, and they say, they hit the gym, they're conscious about what they're eating and stuff like that. And it really inspired me to start hitting the gym,
Yeah, agreed, bro. A lot of people, they do it because, they look at other people and they're like low-key inspired. But what about you, Nathan? What kind of got you into it?
So what got me into it is not only, the confidence aspect, but also I wanted to be the best version of myself. And, we're young, we're in our early 20s, me achieving my dream physique at a young age is like something I value very importantly, because I'm not going to get this type of body or able to achieve this once I'm like 60 or when I get older. So I want to take full advantage of what life has to offer. And I just want to be the absolute best version of myself. And, growing up as a kid, I was like not the skinniest kid. I was, in fact, my heaviest weight was like 190 pounds.
And how tall are you so people could understand?
I'm 5'8".
You're 5'8",
Yes.
120 pounds. 100 and what?
I was 190 pounds.
190 pounds at 5'8".
Yes.
Dude, you were chunky as shit.
I was chunky. I had some fat on me, for sure. Now I'm still same height, and I weigh 146 pounds. So
146.
I dropped around 45 pounds.
Man, you should try it for MMA, bro. Doing a weight cut.
Yeah, definitely. I've always wanted to.
Yeah, man. So, you mentioned a good point there about becoming the best version of yourself. Mm-hmm. Do you think that in today's society, a lot of people kind of don't try to become the best version of themselves, or they kind of just go with the flow and don't really pay too much mind into that?
That's a very good question. So I feel like a lot of people do, I wouldn't say if they wouldn't value fitness, that's on them, but I feel a lot of people slack on their true potential, because we're at such a young age, and being fit and looking your best at such a young age, we won't get this when we get older. So this is something that should be very valuable. I mean, and this is being a fitness guy, going deep in fitness. It's not for everyone. Mentally, it's very tough. I mean, I'm constantly, watching what I eat, constantly training. I train about 5 times a week. It's a discipline. Most people, I'd say, it's lack discipline. It's not the knowledge. Knowledge you can find anywhere out there. It's mainly, it's putting in that consistent hard work, just waking up, being in that gym, nothing but the cold bar, steel, all the weights on.
So essentially, it has to become an obsession.
It has to be an exception, honestly. Yeah, anyone can have all the motivation in the world, but if you don't have that discipline, it's just you're not gonna carry in the long run. Right?
What do you think about that, Daniel?
Discipline is key factor here, because there are some days in the gym where I don't feel like being in there, but I know that if I push myself through, I'm going to feel really accomplished by the end of the day.
Absolutely, dude. So tell me, what are y'all's training regimens like?
So I know this guy is like full on, he's got a list of everything, what he eats, what he works out.
Mm-hmm.
He's very, very structured. He's got a foundation. For me, I kind of just go in, I feel like, I feel like hitting chest today, or I'll feel like hitting arms, or I'll see some guy on Instagram or Snapchat and he'll post a pump pic, shoulder pump, and I'll be like, I'm going to hit some shoulders today, and I'm going to look up some workouts. I'm going to go in the gym and do the same thing, and so far it's worked out for me. I love it. This guy's taking it to the absolute extreme.
My training is very structured and it's very strategic. I go every week. I keep it the same. My meal plans are always the same. So like Monday I'll do like chest, Tuesday I'll do back, Wednesday I'll do legs, and then Thursday I'll do shoulders, and then Friday arms and abs. I try not to change it up. So as you guys know, I am competing in a bodybuilding show soon. So my training is a little bit different. I try to train as hard as I can, honestly, because I know the guys I'm competing against, they all have the same mindset, and it's just at the end of the day, it's like who wants to work harder. And then also I'm doing like cardio 5 times a week for 45 minutes on the Stairmasters. It's honestly like it's quite a bit of work.
Yeah, it's draining. It sounds like it's very draining.
It is draining.
What got you into the whole fitness competition?
So when working out, I just don't want to be your typical gym douche, like just want to get chased and go get girls and stuff like that. For me, during my fitness journey, I definitely, it was not just the comments part, but it was like also I want to impact people. I want to be like someone's role model. Like I want to inspire others to be like, because coming from where, like you guys know where I came from, how my appearance was. Like I was like, 109 pounds, I had acne, all that stuff. And then, I just want to tell people, like let people know it's like, you guys can do it. Like it's possible, it's like, just keep your head down, put in that work. And I'm telling you, like the way you feel at the end of the road is just going to feel amazing.
So we all know that the biggest thing that affects most people is fat.
Yes.
Right? They're a little bit obese. We have the #1 obesity in the United States. So what is the biggest tip y'all both recommend for people to lose fat? To lose that like water weight, to lose saturated fat, anything like that? So
what I suggest is going on calculator.net, type in the info for your body type, and you're going to go there. You're going to figure out your maintenance calories, and then what you guys will do next, you guys will go in a caloric deficit of minus like 200, 300, and then you slowly decrease your calories as you keep on dropping weight. So
essentially be operating from a caloric deficit.
Yes.
Consistently.
Right. It has to be a consistent day-to-day basis where, that's what I do for my clients. I always monitor the weight, and see if it's dropping, and then like how fast it's dropping or how slow it's dropping. Then I'll be like, okay, let's take something.
How many
out.
clients you got right now, man?
Right now I got 6.
6 clients?
Yes.
Making good money?
Yeah.
You getting there?
We're building the business right now.
When did you start the business?
I started about a month ago. A month and a half ago. So
1 month and 6 clients, dude.
Yes.
Yo, man, you must be really promoting on the Instagram. Shout out to Daniel, right?
Yeah.
So basically, when I started the journey, so I joined this group called Team MBG. They helped me out, and this was an academy based for fitness coaches that want to start online coaching business, and this is something where they help out, like people like me want to help and change people's lives and make positive impacts. It's something great. I love changing people's lives. There's this one guy I have on who's, I think it's like 210 pounds. First week he's joined with me, I dropped him 6 pounds already. And he's feeling great. Like I'm not, he's not feeling like draining or anything like that.
I have a question. When you're working with a client, do you study the way that like they metabolize the food, how fast they lose weight, and like based off that person? Because I know everybody's bodies are different. Some person may lose fat a lot quicker, some person may gain muscle much faster.
Right.
So based off of that person, you study them, and then do you make adjustments accordingly based off like how their body operates?
Right. So it depends on their goals. So if I have a guy who wants to bulk up, I have them send them photos to me, and then I'm gonna be like, okay, let's build a foundation on this guy before I start shredding fat off this guy.
Yeah.
Or another guy would be like overweight. Okay, let's shred you down. So when they send photos to me, I just go based off of what we should do.
Yeah.
And then first week I test out how their bodies are, and then the second week is when I really key in on like what their meal plan should be in their training.
What works for them best.
Yeah, what works for them. So
Okay, so you're
important.
doing this. You're not really doing this because of the money.
no.
You're doing this 100% because you want to help people kind of achieve the same success
Yes.
you did.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, I like that
Yeah,
mindset.
Right.
because like I don't know, like when I started working out, it changed like my life in a way. Like my mood, the way I see myself, you know, the way you carry yourself, and it's like that confidence and like the feeling, the smile. You know, I want to see that in other people's faces. You know, like some people want to look good, some people might do it for their wife. You know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So then, how would you say that fitness changed your life from like a mental perspective?
the way it changed my life is probably more confident. I definitely, for sure, in ways like talking to people, you know, going out, having no hesitation to talk to like girls, or you know, because like, you know, back in high school, you know, I was like, I had a face full of acne, and then like I was overweight. I just like didn't have that like confidence, or just like that. I just wasn't the happiest at the point, you know. Like if people were to change, like to start a fitness journey and they're getting better in their result, they're getting better and better every single day, their results with not only driving, because it makes them feel like they're going forward, you know, they're moving towards, like they're going somewhere in life, you know what I mean? So like starting your fitness journey and becoming better yourself is like definitely route that I'd say, like for sure, like appearance reasons too. So
So what do y'all think about how in society currently, a lot of people are consistently saying that we shouldn't like push people to become fit. You know, everyone should just be accepted for the shape that they are, you know, quote unquote, no fat shaming people.
Oh, yeah.
Anything like that. So what do y'all think about that?
I mean, everyone's, the way I see it, everyone's beautiful in their own ways. You know, like I have no judgment at all. You know, like everyone has different visions, and I can't just judge, you know, based on how they look or how they carry themselves. You know, I'll treat anyone the same. You know, I just, you know,
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You know, I mean, like if you're unhealthy, you know, if you eat like garbage and you don't take care of your body, and you're obviously not healthy, it's better to, you know, work out, start eating healthy, because then you also inspire other people to do the same thing, you know. And you shouldn't shame anyone else for what they do. I mean, they could eat like garbage, they can be fat, they can do whatever they want, you know. But they shouldn't tell other people like, oh, you shouldn't work out because that's like fat shaming or being fat phobic. Because I've heard something where like people that work out, you're fat phobic. Like, it's kind of like, I just want to be healthy. I want to feel good, you know. I want my life expectancy to, you know, last long.
Yeah, health is wealth. But could that also be like a reason, like to self-sabotage them with excuses?
I think it's a way to say that like they won't feel bad about themselves, about the bad habits that they make. It's kind of trying to like get validation by other people. They're like, oh, if they agree that like that shaming other people is bad, then I could do whatever I want. I could eat like garbage.
Be okay with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like how I say is like being overweight is hard, but being fit is hard. So like choose your hard.
Yeah.
Either or, you know, it's still hard.
Choose
no
yourself
matter
right.
what.
Not really, but I think being fit is a lot harder than, you know, being overweight, because I think we encourage it too much. Yeah, if people want to live like garbage, yeah, that's your choice. But I don't think we should be encouraging people to accept that kind of mindset. We shouldn't be like, hey, that's the right thing to do, because there's always a right and wrong way to do it.
Absolutely.
A lot of people like to say, hey, there's always gray areas. There's always a limit to what we could say. Yeah, there's limits to what we could say. But I do think that we shouldn't be encouraging people to live an unhealthy lifestyle, you know, because therefore, I always say this on like all my podcasts, you know, we live in a society that like likes to tolerate everything. You know, you should always tolerate, you know, everything from how people dress crazy, you know, to how people eat like crazy, act like crazy. And I say if we tolerate everything, then we won't stand for nothing as a society, as a nation, as a people. So we should always encourage people to be the best possible versions of themselves, like you said earlier, and not accept that they have to be, you know, fat, out of shape, obese. You know, if they want to choose at the end of the day that that's their life and that's what they want to do, all right, go do your thing.
Yeah, as long as they're happy about it, you know, that's all that matters, honestly.
But yeah, I don't think
right or wrong.
Yeah, I don't think
know?
we should encourage people to be unhealthy like that.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, absolutely. And not push like your ideas onto other people. Like if you want to be fit, healthy, you know, and do, as long as you know you do it on your own, you inspire people, whether you preach about it or not. Same way, like about people who are overweight or they eat bad. Like don't push that against other people.
Yeah, 100%. So you mentioned confidence. Your confidence got changed drastically when you started to lift, get confident with that. How did your relationships with women change also?
That's a good question. I don't know. Tell them about Dare.
I think like overall your confidence just improved in general. Like
the way you just
talking to people,
Yeah, not just girls necessarily. Like also like just talking to people. It's like you can, like say for example, like when I had acne and all that stuff, like I just couldn't like stare at someone because like I always feel like they're always.
You feel like they're judging you.
They're judging the hell out of me, But now it's like I can like stare them at their eyes and just hold a conversation, And like I don't say it changed much with women because throughout this whole time I've just been grinding, putting my head down. Like, I'm not really focused. I wasn't too focused on girls or anything like that, I was more focused on, like, all right, business first, and I'll, make money first, fall in love later, So.
The young bachelor mindset.
Yeah, basically.
That's awesome, dude. I could agree, man. I think that guys nowadays at our age, we should be more focused on developing ourselves than chasing women. I think that's a common mistake that many men make, especially college, guys that they're leaving home for the first time. They don't really know too much about the world, for whatever reason that may be.
Right.
And they get to college and they're like, yeah, man, like only way that I could be happy is if I just start chasing women. If I start getting as much pleasure, as much lust as I possibly can. But I don't think we should encourage that also. I think we should, tell young men, aspiring young men that want to be successful, hey, focus on what you need to develop your body, your mind, your finances, your confidence, develop all that first, and then the women will come later.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
They will come later, because too many guys, they think that, I can't get a girl, and, like, all these baddies are walking around, and I can't pick up a single one of them. But that simultaneously, they're eating Cheetos all the time, and, they're working at a Subway, and they're not really trying to develop themselves in any single way. They don't have any goals. They're just kind of stagnant.
Yeah, absolutely.
We should encourage people to, again, be the best version of themselves.
Because one thing I do realize, most girls, they like high-value men. So, like, as a guy, honestly, focus so much on developing your value and, I'd say becoming that $100 bill. Yeah. Everyone wants that $100 bill.
What's your definition of a high-value man?
So my definition is a guy who constantly works on himself every single day, being better, make sure he's not slacking.
Right.
Definitely the way he carries himself.
Absolutely.
The way his personality is too. You don't want just some cocky douchebag. Just walking around.
Right.
What would you say?
Being the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
Honestly, everybody's personalities are different.
How they treat people also. Like if you want a guy who treats everyone nice, treats everyone with
respect, have
respect and all that stuff.
Absolutely,
I would say a high value man is a couple things. First and foremost, it's an individual who could say no to pleasure.
Absolutely.
It's an individual that doesn't depend on pleasure to survive, to live, to flourish. They could say no to sex. They could say no to the drugs. They could say no to the alcohol. They could stay focused on what they need to do regardless of what everyone else is doing. They don't follow the path. They don't go with the flow. Yeah. That's first and foremost. Second, I would honestly say that a man of a lot of value has to be able to protect his stuff. Protect his family, protect his property, protect his goods, whether that's fighting, whether that's being intelligent and setting up ways to protect it, finances with bank accounts, preventing hackers from coming into your world, hiring security, whatever, They have to be able to protect what's theirs, first and foremost. Because if anyone could just walk up, and take what you got, then are you really high value?
Not really, no.
Not at all.
So you want to be, kind of untouchable in a way.
You have to be.
Absolutely.
There's a reason that it's called the 1%. There's a reason that, most of the men in the world don't get a lot of women, and that's because they're not really that valuable. If we're being 100% honest, they don't put themselves out there, to be that valuable individual, that $100 bill like you talked about, whether that's fitness, money, anything like that, they don't do it. And the final thing that a man has to be or have to be a man of value is that they have to be a leader. You know,
Right.
if
Oh, yeah.
no
That's
one
100%.
wants to follow you, you're not a high value man.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be. It's impossible.
Yeah.
You need to be a leader, and a leader is multiple things, but two things for first and foremost. They lead from the front because they have the confidence. They're willing to lead by example,
Right.
but they're also extremely humble, you
Mhm.
know, and
Yeah.
they don't let the power, they don't let any of that stuff get to their head. So that's what my definition of a high
Those are
value
really
man
good.
is.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
100% agree.
Being a leader, you know, getting your hands dirty too.
That's why they call it back in the day a king, a high value man, because he did all that stuff.
Yeah,
Lead the
exactly.
He earned that title. You know, he's been there. He did the dirty. He got his hands dirty. You know.
Yeah, exactly, man. You know, I think too many men want to pretend like they're high value, you know, just because they go to the gym. You know?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think there's a lot more that goes into it than just
100%.
aesthetic.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just
yeah.
aesthetics. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Aesthetics is just one piece of the puzzle.
But then also, you know, playing devil's advocate with that, how important do you think aesthetics is in life? Like how you look, you know, how you walk around the world, how you dress, you know, how important do you think all that is?
I think that represents you to a certain extent. You know, that like makes you look appealing. You're dressing well, you know, you take care of yourself, you know, facial routine, you got a haircut. You just from that initial look, you look at somebody and you could tell that like they take care of themselves. They have that self-care in them. And that's
Self-respect.
yeah, exactly, self-respect. So that like subconsciously tells you that okay, this person obviously puts some is taking care of themselves. So
Putting that work in.
you know,
Stuff
rather
like
than
that,
a person
yeah.
that doesn't care about what they dress, you know, they got acne, their hair is all messed up, compared to a person that takes care of themselves. And that kind of like subconsciously and consciously tell you whether who has more self-respect to themselves.
Mhm.
I think appearance does it adds a factor to it for sure, but also like how you talk to people and connect with people is also another
That's the
part.
most, yeah.
Yeah, so like appearance, I'd say the looks help you get there, but then it's your personality that gets, you know, can
Is
carry
the real substance.
It's the substance that will carry you forward. So the first appearance will get you through the door, you know? So
Yeah, I agree with that. You know, that aesthetic, it gets you to the
right.
door.
Like, for example, like you're going to a bar. You're at a bar and this girl sees you, right? Right now she sees how you look. She doesn't know who you are, you know, all that stuff.
Exactly,
So
yeah.
your looks are already opening up that door for this girl to be interested in you.
Yeah.
Now it's your personality to
They'll
carry you
do the
along
rest
the way.
of the work.
Do the rest of the work.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
That, or even with business. You
business
know?
too, yeah.
You show up to a meeting looking like garbage, no one's going to take
No
you
one's-
seriously.
Yeah,
It's gonna take you
exactly. Yeah,
seriously,
absolutely.
You know, I think the way that you dress, the way you carry yourself, the way you walk around, it shows people a level of how much you respect yourself.
Yeah.
And if you could show that you can respect yourself just by how you appear, what can you actually show then when you meet them about how much you respect yourself? And then people start wondering, who is this individual?
Yeah,
What
right.
do they have to offer? Who are they? Think about, you know, multiple of these athletes. You know, they walk around tall, buffed out, you know, looking amazing. You know, people are like, who is that individual? I want to get to know them. And then automatically they start holding them in a higher value than themselves. That's just how society works.
Yeah. Yeah, so apparently society, a lot of people judge by looks. You know,
Oh,
that-
1,000%.
Yeah,
Especially
so-
down here in South. Let me ask y'all a question. South Florida, right? How much do you think the dating pool has to do with looks?
depends where. Like if you're in Miami, it's not really about looks anymore.
Well, South Florida region, you know, a lot of people just go off based on looks.
I feel like it depends on the age group. Like in high school, it goes off looks because I don't think anyone really understands like the finances in that type of.
In the 20s to 30s
and
here
then
in
20s
South
to
Florida.
30s, okay, yeah, maybe like then they'll start to care about your finance because like, you know, for example, like see a girl looking to get married, she wants a stable guy, like a financially stable guy. So like it depends on the age group for sure, the dating pool
So then,
and the environment.
how do you think that people could get to that point where they could be seen as that financially stable and very strong man? You know, how do you think that they get there? Like, what do you think are some of those steps that they have to take?
Well, those steps I take usually sometimes it's caused by pain. You know, sometimes like the reason why they start something, it could be pain. That's a very a very broad question. Can you be a little more specific about that?
I want it to be broad because I want to see how you see the world. You know, your perspective.
Okay. So I mean that's a tricky one. What do you think about that, Daniel?
Follow your passion. follow your passion, whatever you're good at, find your strength and pursue that.
Find your niche.
You know,
and
if you're a salesman selling vacuums for a living, do that. If you bake cakes for a living, do that. You know, you knit things, you make things. As long as you're good at something, you know, pursue that. If it makes you happy, you know, that is just going to bring so much abundance to you. It's going to make people look at you and be like, wow, if he's happy doing that, then, you know, I like this guy, you know. And that's going to attract so much abundance, and it's going to bring things towards you.
I agree with them. So what do y'all think about the following statement? A healthy body equals a healthy mind.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, dude. I have to go, like, complete 100%. Because, like, imagine all the food you're consuming, the healthy stuff. It's going to affect your brain, the way you function, the way you think, you know?
Yeah.
And the way you perform on a day-to-day basis.
Absolutely. And I don't want to just say that. I want to, you know, to anybody who's listening or watching, like, try it. Eat healthy. Give yourself a week, you know, be very strict about it, and then see how you feel and see how you think. Because the way we operate is we're able to manifest things, you know, and if you don't have a healthy mind, you're not necessarily going to put like the positive thoughts into your mind to propel yourself to accomplish a certain goal that you want. And if you're not able to do that with the right mind, you're probably not eating good. You're probably not consuming good things. And that goes to eating, to what you watch, to what you listen to, all these factors that you're putting into your body. You know, if they're all bad, it's going to be hard for you to put yourself on that mindset to achieve certain things that you want in life, you know.
You just feel better on, like, doing your day-to-day tasks. Like, the clients, so when I submit meal plans, they, like, most of them, they just say, like, dude, I feel really good. Like,
right.
You know?
Yeah, I think the way that an individual sees themselves in the mirror in life, like, I think when everyone goes to sleep, right, there's no one around them. It's just that they themselves in a bed, you know, no one else is around. The world is outside of their mind. And it's just them, and they could take off that little mask that they put on in front of society and just have an honest conversation with themselves. If anyone that's listening to this is thinking to themselves, how do I change my life around? You know, I don't like where I'm at. I'm not content. I think everything sucks. I want to get out of this. I think the first step that they have to do is change how they see themselves. And how do you do that first? Fitness, my man. You know, go change how you work out, or even start working out. Maybe some of you just need to get the fuck off the couch, to be honest. You know, maybe some of you just need to stop, you know, listening to me and go to the gym, or maybe listen to me while you're going to the gym.
Right.
One of the two, you know, because you know you love the podcast. But go start working on your body. Once you got the body figured out, then start working on the other aspects of your life, like the finances. Start thinking that money is the priority. Start thinking that, yo, time is running out for me to make the money. You know, everything's going to fail if I don't start making the money now. You know, once you got that urgency in your mindset, hey, the money will start coming like crazy. Because I think a big issue we have is that we don't prioritize things anymore. We don't focus on, like, okay, I need to do this quickly. I need to do this efficiently. I need to start planning out. I need to take these steps to make this work. Because if we did that, everyone would be rich. Everyone would. Everyone would be making a lot of money. But that's not the case. You know, so we got to start prioritizing, okay, let's change up how we see ourselves with the body. Let's change our wallets. Let's change our mindset. And like you said, Daniel, I liked what you said about what you consume with music, with television, with everything like that, dude, because that also plays a massive factor.
You know, once you take care of your body, the mind follows, you know. And then once the mind follows, everything else in life starts to fall into place.
It does. It absolutely does.
And it's crazy how fast that works too, you know. Like, believe it or not, you know, some people say, "Oh, that doesn't work," or you know, it like, have you even tried it? Like, it's very real. Whatever you consume, like, you are what you eat. And if you're eating processed junk food, you're not going to think right. You're not going to think right, you know.
So, man, now that you said you are what you consume, right? I know a lot of people are going to ask this question. What do y'all think about fitness and steroids or performance enhancers?
I have nothing against it, honestly, because
yeah,
as you like in the beginning, we said there's no wrong or right. The only thing I do have a slight issue is if I see, like, young guys starting off already, like at like 17, 18. Like, I see kids at the gym, like dang, like, you really, like, don't start off taking like SARMs or anything like that. Like, build a foundation with, you know, your body first before you hop on anything.
Yeah,
and honestly, like, if you start off young, it ruins your testosterone production later on. It's just there's so much I think there's so much more cons than pros. Yeah, you'll be strong and you look fit and like, but they do it because they want the fast results. They underestimate how long it takes and how much work you have to put in naturally to get like a certain point.
Yeah.
Like to get my physique, it took me about a year and a half, right? But I was putting in that hard work. I would rarely miss a gym day. I always get my meals in. You know, I make sure my training was a point. You know, like no distractions. Make sure every set was not missed. No, barely any rest time. You know, like honestly, like if you're gonna do all that stuff, I'd say do it when you have years of experience down the road. But
hard work pays off much more. Not to say that you taking steroids and all these enhancers, it doesn't mean that you don't put hard work.
Right.
I don't bash the people that do. If you do, good for you. If it makes you look good, you're competing, it makes you feel good about yourself, keep doing it, to the kids like that you did mention that starts taking these things, they want fast results.
They want results. They want to look like the guys, all these fitness influencers.
Yeah, I believe that those guys don't necessarily have the mindset of the whole falling in love with the process. They just want to look good right off the bat. They want to get a cheat code to get there. They don't care if they have to put their body through unhealthy stress with these hormone things and changing your body's chemistry, because some of these kids will push it to the limit and they don't care what they put into their bodies. They'll just pump so much stuff into their bodies just to look good, and then later down in life they'll have issues like illnesses and stuff like that. All those things catch up to you.
You want that temporary satisfaction,
exactly,
over the long-term effects.
Compared to a person that puts in that hard work, that eats healthy, and just goes through all that, is going to feel so much more better.
Yeah, I think everything has a price. Nothing's free in this world.
Absolutely.
So if you want those fast results, you'll get them. But you'll pay later on in life. There's a price to pay with that, man. There's a price to pay with what that does to your body. You might look amazing on the outside, but your body's rotting on the inside, man.
Right. Absolutely.
And that could harm a lot of things. That could even harm your kids. Later on in life.
They could see that and they could think like, oh, if he's doing it, I can do it. And it can inspire them in a bad way. But to the people who do it, there's nothing wrong about it.
Nothing wrong about it.
But there are people out there that'll claim natty and they are taking stuff low key. I don't
support.
I don't support
like
that.
if you're out there like promoting yourself natural, but you yourself telling yourself that you're not natural, then that's kind of like, okay, like why?
So you're lying. Yeah, you're lying to people, and it's all for money.
That's the thing I hate about it. They do it for the money, but like you're also like representing yourself as like someone you're not.
Literally,
like you're gonna inspire. You're basically making money to inspire this 16-year-old kid to go take SARMs or like all this stuff, and that's terrible. I would, I would hate to have my future son see that and then like he hops on stuff.
Yeah, I think that's the way.
Yeah, I think a lot of these social media influencers, like they're not in it for the same reason you are, man. They're in it just for the money. And you know what? If they're just in it for the money, good for them. You got to make bread somehow.
Yeah, you got to put food on the table.
You got to put food on
the table. But do
it
right. You got to be honest living.
We need morals, man. We need morals in this society. And if you're just pretending, that you're like this completely natural, Thor-looking individual, but in the meantime, behind the curtain, you're injecting every single chemical that you possibly can into your toes and in your veins, then, you're a fraud. You're a complete fraud, man. And a lot of these social media influencers, they are. People need to realize that, like, oh, my God, dude, this guy looks freaking amazing. Dude.
Don't buy his program.
Don't base how you should look off that individual that has probably taken most of the chemicals at the zoo. All right. Focus on what you want to look like, envision that, and do it naturally. Because that's how it's going to pay off in the long run. That's why there's individuals nowadays that are walking around, they're like 65 years old, and they still look jacked. They still look amazing. Because they're not taking the short route. They're not taking the cheat code. They're doing what the rest of society doesn't do, right? We always encourage people to take the path of least resistance. We should all be trying to take the path of most resistance because that's the path that's the most rewarding at the end of the day.
Absolutely. For sure.
But I got another question.
Shoot.
What do y'all think the biggest issue in the fitness industry is today?
What do you mean, like getting started or...
Yeah, let's say getting started. What's the biggest issue with people getting started into fitness?
Like what's hard for people to start getting into it is to, I'd say, building a habit. From my personal experience, it was hard building a habit to wake up every day and and like, okay, I got to go to the gym. Because like I said, there's some days that I don't feel like going to the gym. And sometimes I'll feel like that for a whole month straight, and it sucks. But you got to push yourself through. And as soon as you break that mental barrier, before you know it, it becomes a habit. And then you'll remind yourself, I got to go to the gym today.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Nathan? What do you think?
Definitely habit building, because like it's hard to make the first step, you know, but it doesn't have to be a big step. It can be a little step.
Yeah.
The biggest struggles, like when I first started my fitness journey, was like I didn't have a coach. I didn't have anyone to look up to or anyone to ask. I had to figure out all this stuff, you know, on my own. I had to train properly. I was watching so many videos, you know, how to calculate macros, build a meal plan that worked best for me and stuff like that. So like what I do recommend, like beginning people, for people just starting going fitness, like get a coach. Honestly, it'll save you so much time and effort, because that person's gone through so much like on the journey, and then like if they have so much experience in it, like they can just like literally what I do for my clients, I lay out a meal plan and a training plan. Like they didn't have to go out and figure out all that stuff. It takes time and not only to learn it, but to understand it.
Yeah,
you know?
And you need dedication to figure all that out.
Yeah, and that could also be overwhelming for a lot of people. Like that might scare somebody to go to the gym. Like
and they also get they could also get intimidated. You know, when they go in the gym, they see all these big buff dudes and like all these like good looking you know individuals and stuff like that, and they get intimidated. You know, I'm like, you know, at one point the one thing I tell them is like, look, we all start from somewhere. You know, you cannot compare your chapter 1 to someone's chapter 20.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, people will be in the gym and they'll be shy to work out because they feel like other people are staring.
Or someone's judging them.
And I think that's a common problem nowadays in
agree.
society, and that's what scares people off the most. And my biggest advice for that, for anyone that struggles with going out in public places and feeling judged by other people, especially gym, you know, you want to start improving yourself, you know, don't go to the gym. Go to the park, run, go to the beach, do some workouts, do some push-ups at home, start small, take your time. A coach is fantastic, but some people might be, you know, scared to talk to somebody. So, you know, isolate yourself, learn about it, and see what you can do from there. Little, you know, like buy a pull-up bar, do some pull-ups at home, some push-ups, some jumping jacks, start small. And before you know it, you know, you keep yourself consistent, you're going to start seeing results, you're going to feel more confident about yourself, and that confidence is going to spill to different areas of your life, and then you'll be able to get a coach or a gym membership and put yourself out there little by brick, you know, brick by brick. Before you know it, you'll have a whole empire. You'll feel confident about
yourself. Agree with that, man, 100%. You know, find alternative ways to get the mission done.
Absolutely.
You know, find alternative ways to get the end goal that you want accomplished, man. And most of all, don't let someone else's opinion of you determine anything.
Exactly.
You know? Like I've said that on multiple episodes. I'll say it again. I'll probably say it till the 100th episode of this podcast. Don't let someone else's opinion of you become your reality. Never allow that to happen.
Absolutely.
You know, don't let that be just because you think someone is looking at you. So what? Hey, let them enjoy the show. What's up? You know, like let them enjoy what they got to see, because we have to see ourselves as the main character in our own movie. You know, if we don't see ourselves as our main character in our own life, our own movie, we're not going to get anywhere. You know, so don't ever be afraid of someone else's opinion. You know what? If someone says anything to you, but like, oh, dude, you look fat as fuck. You know, just talk to you like that. Be like, you know what, man? Hey, thank you. I like that. I know I do. And just play with your little
kill them with kindness.
You know, kill them with kindness. Don't reciprocate the energy. You know, and I feel like if a lot of people did that, you know, we'd be in a different place.
We would be.
Like, at the end of the day, you know, we're all going to hit the grave. And at the end of the day, when we hit that, none of those opinions going to matter.
Yeah, none of that shit's going to matter.
One thing I would so hate is, like, if I was sitting on my deathbed and I didn't do the things that I wanted to do because of someone else's opinion. Right?
You'd regret it,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I said on episode 4 of this podcast that my biggest fear is getting to heaven and then God is showing me, hey, Sebastian, this is what I had planned for you. And I look at what he had planned for me, and it's nothing like what I actually did. I did little to anything that was similar to what he showed me. I never realized any potential. You know, and I realized I wasted my entire life when I could have been something so amazing. You know, just because either one, someone said anything to me, or two, because I didn't believe in it myself.
Absolutely, yeah. People's negative opinions affect people so much.
Yeah,
and it's crazy because I heard someone tell me that if somebody says something negative about you, it's just a reflection of themselves. You know, they have that inner hate in themselves, and they're projecting it onto you because when they look at you, they see something that they don't have.
Yeah.
So they feel like if they're able to express and make you feel bad, it justifies themselves not being able to do it.
Yeah, if you don't got haters, you're doing it wrong, man.
You gotta love haters. They talk about you.
Yeah. If you don't
They're
got
your
haters,
biggest advertisers.
they are. They're your biggest fans, low key. You know?
Absolutely. Oh my God. When I post my transformation video, everyone was like, trend steroids.
On his TikTok,
Are you
everyone's talking
serious?
about steroid users.
Everyone's like,
That's how you know you made it, man.
yeah, that's how you know you made it.
Yeah.
Dude. You know,
straight up, bro.
that's hilarious,
But
bro.
like, if you think about it, his 1 year transformation is so insane that it doesn't shock me why people think that.
It's because most of those people that are probably commenting that, they don't ever think that they could do the same exact thing.
Yeah.
They think that, dude, there's no way that in 1 year someone could transform
no way.
themselves like
Yeah.
that. So, you know, he has to be on steroids. You know, he has to be taking something. And it's also because, again, social media influencers a lot say, oh, I'm natty.
The one thing on social media, it's like all these guys like edit the hell out of their photos, and then people think like, oh, that's the way.
That's how they look all the time.
That's how they look all the time. And then it goes back to like why these kids take, you know, all these roids and stuff, because like, damn, I gotta look like that. You know,
that also goes to like social media in general, because people only put out what they want you to see, but not what's behind closed doors. And that goes in the fitness industry as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very small screenshot of what's actually going on in everyone's life. You know, everyone does that. You know, most women, they post the most best looking pictures that they have. I know that didn't sound too proper in English, you know, but screw it. They post the best pictures of themselves, but they don't post how they look like, you know, after a Christmas morning, you know, with the family, you know, but next to a little dog.
You'll see them in person and you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, you'll see in person.
Filters aren't there.
Whoa, dude.
You telling me you don't have doggy ears?
Yo, same thing with men, dude. Like you said, Nathan, a lot of these guys, dude, they be posting these ridiculous edited pictures. Like, yeah, that's how I look all the time. Tinder profile looking nice. You know, you see them in person, man. They look like freaking Flabberjack, you know. They look nothing like how they look in real life. But remember, man, if you don't have any haters, you're not doing it right. But also recognize that just because someone is critical, that doesn't mean that they're being negative. There's a big difference between criticism and negative hate, you know. Big distinction.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I was going to mention something about constructive criticism compared to just negative criticism. Constructive criticism is somebody giving you a feedback that can help you progress.
Right.
And you got to be willing to put your ego aside, because if it hurts your feelings, you know, you're not going to learn from that.
Yeah, you got to have some tough skin also.
Exactly.
You know, you can't, and that's what I said again.
Open
like,
mind.
Don't let someone else's opinion get to you. You got to have tough skin. You know, kill them with the kindness. You know, oh yeah, you call me fat. Hey, you know what? Thanks a lot, bro. You know, you don't care. You know, because comments are irrelevant. That shit's irrelevant. But constructive criticism with, you know, here, this is what you got to change. That's ideal. You know. But I'm very glad that both of y'all came onto the pod.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Shared your opinions, you know, shared your perspectives. Because then this is what this is about. Yeah. You know, it's about sharing other individuals' perspectives, changing a little bit of the world, one voice at a time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know,
making positive impact.
Yo, shout out the Instagram so anyone that wants to follow y'all's journey could hear about it.
So if you guys want to follow me on my bodybuilding competition show, I have following up. You can follow my TikTok. It is nt.fit. For TikTok, and then for Instagram is _Nathan.to_. If
you want to give me a follow on Instagram, it's Danny Phantom, DANNIFANTOM. That's about it.
You know, just like the show, I love it, man. I absolutely love it. Yeah. But to all my listeners listening up to this point, God bless every single one of you. Like always, thank you so much for listening up to this point. Don't forget to give the show a review. Don't forget to give us a nice little like. You know, share with the friends, family. Get the message out there, because this is a message that people need to hear in today's society. We're not saying what you want to listen to. We're saying what you need to listen to. So take care of yourselves, and God bless every single one of you.